Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We've got some organizational and kind of spring cleaning stuff we need to do out here in the shop. So we need to get all the vehicles and things out of here. So I thought it would be a good day to do kind of a cold start video on everything and maybe get some of you newer subscribers up to speed with some of the junk we've got laying around in the shop. And when I say cold start, it's about 40 degrees in the garage, which means it's probably about 37, 38 outside. So not super cold, but some of this stuff hasn't run in quite a while. The first item on the list is my 97 S10 Blazer here, also known as Johansson. This vehicle has a playlist, they all do, but I'll link them all above as we get them going. The quick story with this one is I bought this truck for 400 bucks in just awful shape. It still is pretty much in awful shape. I did quite a bit of work to it about a year ago and it got back burnered, and I've never actually been able to run this thing up to full engine temperature before because of a massive fuel leak. I actually do have the fuel leak fixed now. We'll talk about that more in a future video, but right now today the goal is to see if it'll run at all and to let it come up to temperature for the first time and just see if it starts spraying coolant or bursts into flames or whatever. So this will be fun. I did have it running about 4 months ago and it started really poorly then. The gas in this thing is probably about 2 years old at this point, and since it had that bad fuel leak, it's been open to the atmosphere for months, if not a year. So I'm sure the modern ethanol gas is all full of water and everything else. So this will be exciting, but this is our first cold start of the day. So key in. Oh, keep going for a clutch that isn't there already. This is my only automatic vehicle. Power. We got it. Let's heard a fuel pump prime. Let's prime the pump a couple more times. Let's try again. There it goes. All right, well, let's see what happens. Probably gonna have to give it quite a bit of gas. Cranking. Oh, look at that. Perfect. I didn't do a dang thing. All I've done to this thing, and since the last time it ran 4 or 5 months ago, was check the oil and charge the battery, and came right up on 1,000 RPM idle. That's awesome. Let's get out and have a look at it. Oh. There she goes. No big deal. Smells terrible. Smells like super ancient gas. And there she is running. So anyway, let's get this one pulled down the driveway, and then I think the Sippy Cup Escort's going to be next. And the other fun thing that sidelined Johansson here is it has basically no brakes. So now we're in drive. The fronts are holding it. Let's just, oof. Let's see if we can just get her on down the driveway enough to pull one out behind it. Yeah, and that's about all the more the brakes want to hold. Back into neutral. This thing runs awesome. Cool. Next item up for bids here is going to be my 95 Ford Escort Wagon, 5-speed. This is my daily driver, so this thing was running yesterday. First time it ran in 3 weeks though, because we're still under quarantine here in the coronavirus era. But I have high hopes of nothing going wrong. I should mention that as we go on, the vehicles get progressively louder for the most part. The exhaust on this thing is just trash right now. So she's gonna be loud. Let's get to it. Let's hit the key. Cranked right up just like always. Getting super freaking loud. Let's get her on down the driveway. That's plenty. Add a gear. Here's a fun one. Both those are running right now, and you can see it's been so long since the Blazer came up to temp that it's just dumping steam out because it hasn't been run up to temperature in like a year and a half, and the Escort's run doesn't even look like it. Now here we are in my 99 Jeep Wrangler Sahara. We just call this one the Jeep. It's probably been about the same as the Blazer here, 4 or 5 months since it's lit up. This is 4-liter 5-speed, so foot on the clutch, hit the key. Ooh. Started right up as I would expect. Battery's a little lazy. It's another good reason to get these things running. I put the chargers on just about everything else, but I figured the Jeep would make it because it also has a brand new alternator. Anyway, let's get her on out of the shop. That should do it. Parking brake set, out of gear. Next up is a car that does not actually have a playlist on the channel because we haven't worked on it on the channel yet and probably won't for a while. But I typically refer to this car as the Ford which shall not be named. It does actually have a name, I just don't use it. But this is a 91 Mustang GT 5-liter 5-speed. It has battery problems. We'll see what happens. I was trying to get it in reverse before we started it because it's a T5 and sometimes they don't like to do that. So it's better to do it before it's running if we can. Wait, did we get it? Yeah, I think it's in reverse there. Let's give it a shot. Let's prime the fuel pump a couple times. It's also been 4 or 5 months since this one ran. Okay. Ain't no thing. Ah, crap, I did this wrong. Got my right foot on the clutch. Car does not actually have low coolant, just those sensors from Ford are junk. So, let's see if we can get her finagled on out. Into the light of day she comes. Make sure we don't run into the Blazer with it. I think we're good. Make sure the parking brake is plenty set. Let's go get the tractor. And this one I will for sure not be able to talk over. This is, as near as I can tell, a 1974 Cub Cadet 149. This is my daily lawnmower and it's been on the channel a ton. There's a playlist up there too. Let's see if it's going to start up. Battery's charged and the fuel is on. Give her about half throttle, which we got. Full choke, which we got. I usually do park it with the choke set just to keep that butterfly closed in the carburetor. Let's see what happens. No key whatsoever. Something happened with our battery? See if we have headlights. Yeah, we got the one headlight we always have. It's peculiar. Oh, I know why. I also keep the deck clutch engaged when I store this. And I do that because the deck clutch on this is actually a mechanical automotive style clutch. There's actually a friction disc back here and there's a pressure plate and all that stuff. So by setting it with the clutch engaged, it keeps all the weight off these spring fingers and stuff for it to just sit. And there's a electrical safety switch on this, so you can't start it with the deck engaged or the accessory drive engaged. So we'll pull it back to disengage. Now it should have power. Let's try again. Come on, baby. She got too much choke, not enough choke. Maybe not enough throttle. It's trying. Yeah, it looks like way too much choke. It's popping black smoke out. See it throwing all the smoke out. Come on. Come on. Might need 2 hands to run the choke. Nah. I think we're out of battery. I don't think there's anything wrong with the tractor. I just think I've run the battery down at this point. Let's put the jump box on it. So we've got the jump box on the tractor now. Let's give it another shot and see what happens. Boy, not much better. Jump box happy. Got the jump box in like booster mode. Battery cables on this thing are also junk too, so that's not helping us any. Come on. There we go. we go. That's the real Hooptie Fleet. Tractor, Jeep, Mustang, Escort, Blazer, all fired up and running. I'm really impressed with the Blazer. Let's go check it out. When I first walked up to this thing after having been running for a minute, I didn't even think it was running. You know, the Mustang's behind us running and it's pretty loud, and obviously the tractor's pretty loud. But seriously, there's not a vibration on the dash of this thing at all. If not for the tack, actually, is it running? Yeah. If not for the tack, I wouldn't know this thing was even running. This thing's like perfect. Coming up to temp reasonably well. Looks like it's, oh, what is that, like 170 or so? Holds monster oil pressure, charges like a beast, but this thing doesn't vibrate, rattle. The smoke's starting to clean out even. This is awesome. I really had low hopes for this thing when I fired it up a few months ago and it just sputtered and rattled and everything else. I didn't think to record that, but hey, this is awesome. This is the primary reason why I bought this thing. Is if you're just joining us now, I bought this from a coworker, so I saw this thing come and go to work every day. Just you know, big piece of junk, but it showed up every day and it sounded good. But man, this thing runs awesome. That was to the mat, about a 4,000 RPM romp. It smoked a little bit. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it if I do it again. Boy, I hesitate to roll that window down. We'll try. It wants to go down and up. Okay, well, those are the good things that we needed to do. See if we can show you. Yeah, not too bad. Settles down at idle again pretty quickly after that. It's awesome. Oh my God, it smells terrible out here though. Gas in this thing's ancient. Holy crap, look at all the stuff it blew out of the exhaust. I don't know if that's oil or just carbon or crap, but yeah. We're gonna let this thing run for a while. Let's check out the Escort. There's really nothing ever to see with the Escort, except it's beeping at me because my seatbelt's not on. Except right now, this is the daily driver, so no big surprises. Super loud because of the exhaust. But this one I'm just gonna shut down. It doesn't really need to come up to temp any further, but good for us. Let's check out the Jeep. Not expecting much drama there either. Things are getting a little noisier now because the tractor's right behind us, but kind of same story as everything else. Running nice. We'll give this one a few more minutes to come up to temp 2. Check out the Mustang. No real drama here either. Idle's nice, coming up to temp. Good oil pressure. Certainly sounds the part. Yes. Good deal. So I think the only thing now is just to probably let these, the Jeep, the Mustang, the tractor, and the Blazer continue to come up to temp. And then shut them all down, put them away. I just cannot believe how well this thing runs, so I just shut it off from hot. We're going to try and start it again. Didn't like it as much. There it goes. No problem. But this thing's crazy. So it's up to temp. I'd say it's about 180-ish. The thing carries like 45 or 50 pounds of hot idle oil pressure, and it's just steady, smooth. Crazy. It makes some pops out of the exhaust. I'm sure that's because it's just full of garbage in there. Throttle response is okay-ish. But anyway, this thing's nuts. The cold start portion of the day is now behind me. I've got other stuff to do. This was just kind of a fun thing to do while I was pulling all the crap out. So I'm going to get back to work with what needs done. And as always, I appreciate you guys stopping in, and we'll catch you on the next one. I'm Max, that's Saddington Bear, and we make videos like this all the time. Here are a couple links to some other videos we've made, and we really appreciate you guys stopping in.